Okay, Dr. Hruska, what do you have there?
It's a pelvis, Greg, and we'll talk about what I think your pain, why you were getting the pain you were getting.
What I'm dealing
in
with.
your back left SI joint.
What did you notice when you positioned me on the table?
We noticed this here. We noticed that your hip is going to probably be coming forward a little bit, just
now,
like
this
that.
joint right here, what do you call this?
Your sacroiliac joint.
That's the SI joint.
Yep.
Okay. Now, I rarely hear people talking about that. I hear them talking about herniated disc and other problems.
Sure.
In fact, I just came from one of your patients who was told he had to have surgery because of herniated disc. And instead, you came in, identified this problem through the positioning that you just did with me, and found that he couldn't have the range of motion on one side than the other. He was twisted to one side,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
Show us what you found with me. What's happening?
With you, what we found out is you're kind of turned like that. So you're kind of tipped forward and turned. Okay? So when you feel that pain in that left SI joint, is separated.
So why were my muscles tight on this side of my body?
Well, if we follow your hip, if here's your ball and socket joints, and you have ligaments that keep these ball and socket joints in place, well, when you do that, your femur turns in, right? See how that femur turns in? You don't walk pigeon-toed with your left leg, so what do? You compensate. These muscles back here pull this out so you can walk straight.
They pull the
femur.
The femur. So when people talk about their hip joint being out, most people think, they imagine this ball, the femoral neck and the ball in the socket down here. Yeah. But what they're really, what you're identifying is this huge bone. The ilium is the...
They're going to work together. This is a compensation for this.
Aha.
Okay, so if you always stand over here, and this orients your spine to that right side, you are not going to always stand. You're going to walk straight.
Sure.
So you're going to turn this out. So the muscles in the back side of your external rotating muscles are going to turn this out. Well, you can only go so far. You got ligaments to keep that intact, so what do? You just start doing this.
Oh my goodness.
So now you can be straight, and this SI joint actually starts becoming a little bit of a hip.
There was one time when a lot of weight came down on me when I was moving a heavy piece of machinery, and I could feel that twisting right there, and it was the strangest feeling. I could feel that repositioning in my hip.
I mean, if you think about all your upper body weight, it's right here. Goes through those two joints.
All of my all the weight came down on my spine, and I, with my muscles, was holding it up. But I felt the way I was standing on my leg, this twist. Go ahead and mix it. I felt that happen right at that moment, and I've had a lot of problems ever since then. I think I was already out of alignment.
You were, yeah, you were. Okay. Wouldn't if you more than likely probably wouldn't have happened if you weren't already doing a little bit of this.
Yeah.
And then
yeah, the pain, I kept trying to treat it. I put muscle stimulators on to try to relax the muscles in spasm. But even though I was able to relax the muscles in spasm, I wasn't getting to the cause of the problem. I wasn't correcting this misalignment.
You were still doing the same thing you always did.
I was still in these neurologic patterns of misalignment.
Your brain's still doing the same thing. You get out of that car the same way you got.
Well, when I got in the car, I pressed on the gas with my right foot.
And this left leg flops out into the door on you.
And I've had tightness in my hip. I try to contort around. I lie in bed. At night, I lie in bed, and it just hurts, And then my hips feeling tight. It's always in constant spasm.
Because your hip is turned, and you're trying to lay on a flat surface.
And these muscles in spasm are choking off the blood supply to that region of my body. Eventually, I could need a hip replacement because I'm not getting the nutrients. There's no perfusion to this joint capsule.
More than likely, you'll need this one first.
The opposite?
Which leg do you stand on all the time? Which leg's getting jammed up in here?
The right leg.
Yeah, you're wearing this joint out. This one don't even do anything.
So this side's doing all the heavy lifting now.
This side's carrying all your weight.
Compensating for the other side.
And this side you don't step on. Which leg are you standing on right now?
Right now, the way I'm standing. I'm leaning back on my right leg with my left leg forward.
You're doing this.
So
that's a pattern.
So I've got these neurologic patterns, and I keep falling back into them.
Yeah, and we all have them.
A pattern of imbalance. So what you've done with the positioning here, so with
it's to identify a pattern.
With Tracy Stone, when he came in, one knee could go all the way down to the table, but when you positioned him the way you just did me, the other knee,
he was like you.
Same thing. My knee couldn't touch the table, my left knee.
Pain down his left side, running down his leg, pain in his left back. He had herniated discs, and you know.
But it sounds almost like sciatica.
Sure.
This is misdiagnosed as sciatica all the time, isn't it? Wouldn't you say? People are saying, "Oh, you have sciatica."
But it don't matter what it's diagnosed as. What are you gonna do about it? Who cares? Who cares what it is? If it's a herniated disc, or if it's a sciatic pain, or a piriformis pain, or a SI joint pain, or a hip impingement problem, what are you gonna do? If you're doing this, you better just fix the whole problem.
So instead of covering up the pain, you're using the pain as a guide that's saying something's wrong, and when you correct the problem, the pain goes away. So you're getting to the cause. You're not treating pain, you're treating the cause, correct?
Yeah, I told patients I don't really care what they're complaining of. We're just going to try to get you as balanced and out of a pattern as we can.
So when you put the patient on the zone respirator, and they're sitting down, these legs are out. Let's set this on the table for a minute and kind of show me the imbalance that they have. You tilt them back. We're about to go over to the machine and show how it does.
All we're doing.
But the machine isn't positioning them. They're positioning themselves and pushing against the machine in a certain way.
They're teaching themselves how to change a position. So if they're like this when they sit down, they're trying to teach themselves to change a position and allow a diaphragm to come down. Mm-hmm. Allow them to basically start relearning how to use a...
They're out of alignment. I'm out of alignment. How would I be? Show me what my hips would look like if I had that abduction. Okay. That's good. Position your hand down here, away from the light. There you go.
So
so I lie down.
Like
I'm on the machine like this. I'm out of alignment. You put me through a series of positioning.
That just allowed you to do that.
And all it did, when I pushed down on one leg and pushed my left knee in, etc., on the machine, the machine wasn't working on me. I was working on the machine.
Yes.
And it allowed me to guide me to position my body in a certain way. I was in 100% control of the pushes, so I could stop at any time. But what it did was...
what it did was it inhibited a pattern. It inhibited muscles that you always use to hold yourself up.
So we counteracted that pattern, and we taught me through a series of exercises
how to breathe with different muscles on.
Let's go over to the machine and have me go through the procedure, and we'll videotape that. Is that okay?
Yep.
Thank you.